Imagine acing your next test feeling refreshed, not exhausted. Picture yourself understanding complex subjects deeply without spending hours glued to your desk. This isn't a fantasy, it's a strategic choice. For generations, we've been sold a lie, that the path to academic success is paved with all-nighters, endless repetition, and sheer brute force. That more hours in the library directly equals a better grade. But this is the cause of burnout, anxiety, and surprisingly often mediocre results. Today, we unpack the effort paradox. We will learn why studying less can often lead to understanding more. This is the art of minimum viable effort. To understand this philosophy, we must look to one of anime's most efficient and devastatingly effective minds, Captain Levi Ackerman. When a Titan attacks, it uses brute force. It swings wildly, destroying everything around it, wasting enormous amounts of energy. But Levi is different. He is calm, he is precise, he never wastes a single movement. He identifies the one single weak spot, the nape of the neck, and strikes with surgical precision. Most students study like titans. We are going to learn to study like Levi. This method is built on 3 laws. Law 1. Identify the nape of the neck. Levi wins because he knows that 99% of the Titan is irrelevant. Only the nape matters. In your subjects, the same is true. You must ruthlessly identify the nape of your curriculum. This is your high-yield information. First, apply the 80-20 principle. Acknowledge that roughly 20% of the concepts in your syllabus will account for 80% of the marks on your exam. Your first job is to identify that 20%. Second, become a detective. Look at past papers and, more importantly, the mark schemes. Where are the big marks awarded? It's rarely for simple definitions. It's for analysis, evaluation, and application. That is the nape. Third, listen for the signals. When your teacher says, "This is a really common mistake," or "Pay close attention to this diagram," they are shining a giant spotlight on the nape. A brute force student tries to memorize the entire Titan. A strategic student focuses all their energy on the one spot that guarantees victory. Law 2. Master your ODM gear. Levi doesn't run up the Titan's arm. He uses his ODM gear to fly directly to the weak spot. It is the tool that allows for his precision. You need academic tools that do the same. Forget the slow, cumbersome methods like rereading and highlighting. Your ODM gear consists of 2 key mechanisms. Active recall is your grappling hook. Instead of passively reading a chapter, go straight to the end-of-chapter questions before you read. Forcing your brain to try and retrieve information it hasn't properly stored is called active recall. The struggle itself is what builds strong memories. It's like firing a hook into the knowledge and pulling it out. Spaced repetition is your gas canister. Use a system like Anki. It's the most efficient way to maintain knowledge. It intelligently schedules reviews just as you're about to forget something. This replaces hours of panicked cramming with a few minutes of targeted daily review. It is the definition of minimal, precise bursts of energy. Law 3. The after-action report. The battle is over. The study session is finished. The brute force student slams their book shut and distracts themselves with their phone, their mind still buzzing and chaotic. The Levi method student does something different. They conduct an after-action report. For 5 minutes after you finish, sit in silence, put your pen down, and ask yourself 3 questions. What is the single most important idea I learned in that session? What was the most confusing point? How does this connect to something I already know? This 5-minute ritual of calm reflection forces your brain to file away the information properly. It consolidates your learning more effectively than another 30 minutes of frantic reading. It's how you clean your blades and prepare for the next mission. Conclusion: the goal is not to be lazy. The goal is to be precise. To be a surgeon, not a sledgehammer. By identifying the nape, using your ODM gear, and conducting an after-action report, you transform studying from a battle of attrition into an art of efficiency. You stop measuring your work in hours spent and start measuring it in objectives achieved. This is how you ace your next test feeling refreshed. This is how you reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace of mind.
Let me be brutally honest. You don't need to remember everything you read. That's a trap, a distraction, a lie. You need to remember the core 1%, the ideas that dominate the rest, the truth bombs that change the game, the laws, not the trivia. Here's how you find them. After reading anything, take 10 seconds to summarize the top 3 key ideas in your own words. Then, cut it down to one dominant truth, the idea that controls the others. This is called the 10-3-1 protocol. Why does it work? Because your brain doesn't work well with overload, but it does work with hierarchies. If you feed it one powerful, connected, central idea, everything else falls into place. You're not memorizing, you're mastering. And masters remember because they know what to do. But it's the final weapon. You forget because you think you'll see it again. So your brain says, why bother? But what if you trained your mind to believe you only get one chance to absorb, one chance to understand, one chance to retain? This is memory scarcity. You pretend, no matter what, that the page in front of you will vanish forever after one read. You either own it now or lose it forever. This radical urgency rewires how you read. You slow down, you question, you visualize, you paraphrase, you respect the page. And guess what? Your brain begins to hold on to information like it's life or death, because to your mind, it is. Now, you've been exposed. You've seen how deep the programming goes. You've seen how broken your old reading habits were. And you've seen exactly how to rewire your brain to remember everything you read. But remember, this isn't about trying, it's about replacing. You must delete the old habits and install these new ones like a mental operating system. Once you do, you'll never read the same way again. You won't just understand, you'll remember, effortlessly, automatically, permanently. Now tell me this, which one of these techniques hit you the hardest? Which one exposed a lie you've been living with your whole life? Type it in the comments, right now. Don't just watch and scroll. If you write it, you lock it in. If you share it, you own it. And if you've been reading the wrong way your entire life, just say it. I've been lied to. Let it out. This is your reset moment. I'm reading every single comment. Let's rebuild your brain together.